Hi, and welcome to the garden. And I realize I've been gone for a while. I had a trip to Austin again this week, and I've been rearranging some things, trying to get some things straightened out, trying to get some plotting and planning for y'all. So it was just not a time to be recording things. So today is Good Friday. And when I woke up this morning and realized it was Good Friday, I realized that when I was a kid, I lived in a very Catholic town called Joliet, Illinois. And we had huge services on Good Friday in a movie theater that had been built in the early 1900s. And it was the most magnificent, gorgeous. It had a balcony, a big, huge, high balcony up on the top. It had a big stage and big red drapes so it could be used for events like Good Friday. And on Good Friday, it was just a big, huge music fest for all the different faiths, all the different versions of Christianity that were in my hometown. My hometown, as a matter of fact, one of the funnier things in that is it had all the elaborate foo-foo things up around the screen. And at the very top of the screen, it was a carved version, like a motif on there of Venus rising from the sea. And we all used to joke when we were kids that was sex education in my hometown, like Venus rising from the sea. But it was all gilded and golden, and it had box seats in its big days. And you could still see where the organ had been there in the 20s when they played before they had talkies. And this theater's called the Rialto. And it is now a historic trust thing, and it is a working theater in my hometown, and it's a cool place. And it was kind of nice to wake up to that sort of a pleasant Good Friday memory. While I was thinking about it, I was thinking about the fact that I grew up in a town where we kind of had a bifurcated school system. There were public schools, like there were everywhere, but there was also a completely large and equal in size, almost Catholic school system that ran side by side with our public school system. And the education of both the places were great. And this was back in the generation of, this was 50s and 60s. This was the nuns in the penguin suits and stuff. One of my favorite teachers I had growing up, I was not Catholic, but I went to an after-school program for theater at St. Francis Academy, and then it was St. Francis College, and then it became St. Francis University, but it was in my hometown too. And Sister Mary Fernanda was one of my favorite teachers, and she taught theater, and I went there every Thursday after school. I walked over to their campus because it was kitty corner from where my grade school was, and was in theater and did that till I was into high school. And she's just a marvelous, inspiring, fun person. She's the first person that one time I was with her a little bit early before the other kids showed up because I walked from school. And she was telling me how, as a young nun, she'd had an experience, and she said, "I think you'll understand this. I think I see that in you." And I was like, "Okay, you're a little kid. Tell me another story." And what her story is that she was in the little theater that we did our presentations from, and she was painting a flat to get it ready to be part of the set. And next to her, she heard a noise, and a man in a full dress, night dress type outfit, black with the top hat, the cane, the vest, the whole deal, walked out of the canvas flat next to her. And he looked at her and he goes, "You're a fool, but you'll make this work. This program will work." And then he walked off the stage. And I said, "Didn't it kind of bother you that this guy just kind of walked out of a flat?" And she said, "No." She said, "You'll find out in your life that those experiences just happen." I'm like, "Okay." And boy, did I. But anyway, where is all this going? Well, I was thinking about it when I was growing up. When I entered high school, there wasn't a teacher in my high school that didn't have a master's degree or better. And when I was in, and that actually, right after I left, the pressure on that stopped because the teacher salaries quit growing and staying commensurate with what other people earned. And I remember one of our neighbors who was a lawyer, he told me that when, and he was older than I was, so he was in the post-World War II generation of professionals, that when he graduated from college, he had the option of going out and starting teaching or going to law school. And he said, and when he finished law school, he started at the same salary he would have started at 3 years earlier as a teacher. That's how disparate our salaries and how we treat our professionals, if you consider the amount of money that they earn. So that led to where we're going with all this. I decided to do a reading on the American education system, and I'm going to use my typical Eileen Connolly deck. Deck cleared off here so you can see it. And I'm going to ask about the future of the American educational system with the new influx of money. Is it going to make a difference? It's going to make a change. We're going to quit turning out people who don't believe in science and don't have an understanding of math. I came out of a group that's considered just coming out of high school, was pretty well educated. At that point in time, there were jobs in this country. You could leave high school and go to work somewhere and live and support yourself and support your family, something you can't do now to the same degree. But one time when I was just out of college in the early 70s, I was given a test and they said, see if you could pass this. And it was a math test. Well, math was, first of all, not my strong suit. And second of all, it was mostly story problems, which were even less my strong suit. And I read through it and I went, what the hell upper math course was this geared towards? This was in Texas at the time, the math final for people graduating from the 8th grade. And I was a college educated woman, of course, mathophobic, but it was a hard test. It was a hard test. I mean, I don't think most people entering college now could do what was on that test. So I think we've dumbed down our education. So that's what we're going to ask. Is education going to change? Or we're going to make it smarter? So that's where we're headed. That's what this reading's about. Well, not immediately. What I've got here is the page fawns, which is, it's a message that should be played, but changes need to be made, but no one's pushing for them. This card is, in this reading, is reversed. But what it means when it's right side up, the way you're seeing it, I cannot turn the cards and I don't have all the clever stuff to do that with my camera. But when she's right side up, she means people that aren't meeting together. So I think this may be, it's coming, it's not immediate. Some very smart people who want to cover your ears if you don't like bad words. But one of the things about the Queen of Swords, and that's who this is, trying to get the glare off of the Queen of Swords, is she takes her sword and runs around stinging everybody's bag of bullshit. So all this crap about how education can't be better, and what if we threw all the money in the world at education, it would improve. Well, they've never done that, so we really don't know. But the problem is that the spirit and the soul of the country isn't in it yet to improve education. And let's see. Okay, let's see what else it says. Breaking the rules, business. Oh, it's getting better. Oh, it is. Okay. Someone's going to decide we have to break all the rules. Everything we've set up until now. And one of the things people always say is, well, if we threw all that money at education, what would it do? I don't know, but you've not only not thrown money at education, they've been cutting it off. And business is going to demand it. As we go into this new growth pattern that's been in the trillions of dollars we want to spend to educate workers and to get people where they need to be, business is going to demand that the workers be educated. So that's the new beginning. That's the new beginning for education. And money will be found for education. And it's going to be heartbreaking because there's a couple generations here in America that have never really been properly educated. I taught at a very exclusive private boys' school, and I was sort of amazed at how dumbed down they were. Anyway, we're going to pull one more card about education in America. We're going to pull it from the Inner Child deck, my favorite deck. It flew out. Oh, Rapunzel. Okay. And these cards, remember, you only read them one way. We read them right side up. Oh, cool. It's the guardian angel. And the guardian angel is 14 in the major arcana. I'm getting there. It takes a while. I actually do pull my cards, and I don't pull them early, so you can see me pull them. And we're getting there. And ta-da! The guardian angel. Over the centuries, the 14th card in the major arcana has depicted an angel or an archangel watching over us. With a magical elixir from one cup to another, standing. This is temperance. Standing with one foot on solid ground, the other in a pool of water. Known as temperance, this figure represents unification of spirit and soul energies on another turn of the spiral. It represents an alchemy and a process to bring the human possibilities and personalities to greater light. In the Middle Ages, many of the great painters in Europe drew halos around the heads of angels. This was a classic cosmic sign that these beings were ringed by spiritual light and were emissaries of God. Later on, saints, priestesses, magicians, and other celestial messengers, literally, that's what the word angel means, is messenger, were also shown with halos around their head. Thus, this glorification and initiation do occur within the human realm. Guardian angels are either the forces from the outside of ourselves keeping us out of danger, or higher soul aspects. While the meaning of temperance can be moderation, from the Latin word for tempor, which means to seek the middle. It means to blend, to mix, to regulate. Okay. When this card appears in your reading, open your heart and mind to the gentle rhythms that can restore your sense of balance and equilibrium. Often we are making major life changes and need protection and guidance. As a young child, it's very important to feel safe. And I think that's true for our students. They need to be made to feel safe in school again. The Christian prayer calling for the guardian angel has brought peace to many children. Angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom God's love commits me here, ever this day be at my side to light and guide and rule and guide. In much the same way as adults, we've learned to surround ourselves with the white light from danger and doubt. Do you feel safe and secure? Call on the assistance of higher powers. And I don't think we're going to feel safe and secure until we get a hold of that guardian angel and put that guardian angel in every classroom and make sure every child, no matter where they seek their education from, can come out being able to read, to write, to do what they need to do to function in the world. It's the only way we're going to be a great that's the way we're going to be a great country. I already think we're a great country. I think that when people started saying, make America great again, I was like, where have you been? We do need a lot of work. We've suffered 40 plus years of neglect because we get Republicans that would cut everything up, and then they get Dems that would try to put everything back to place. But it wasn't all Republicans. It's the ones we have now are completely out to lunch. But this shows, I think this reading shows that, at least as far as education goes, we are going to go ahead. We are going to make the changes we need to make. We are going to guide the small children into the light and make them feel safe and make them feel loved. And so that's a long wandering ramble from what I used to do on Good Friday as a kid, going and seeing everybody sing and have a good time, seeing all the different faiths play out their work, and then seeing people get education so they could do something with their lives, and having hope That's what we need most of all is hope. So I hope that this holiday season, this Easter season, whether it's been Passover for you earlier in the week or Easter coming up right now, things will get better. Things will be moving along. Things will be helping us all. I know I'm constantly talking to people now who have gotten their shots. I got my shots in January and February, and I'm so grateful I had them. And now I'm feeling a little bit safer about going out. I still live in a crazy state where the governor says we shouldn't mask. We're really close to the end of this, guys. So that's my other word of warning at this time. Choose temperance, choose the balanced way, choose a way that you feel safe. I mean, I actually have taken 2 road trips in the last 2 weeks, and that was after being in my house without leaving, but maybe 10 times in a year. So I'm not saying don't do what you need to do, but if you do it, do it and do it safely. And I will look forward to hearing what your comments are on this sort of a reading. I don't read about things much, but I just felt like it is important. Building our education system is really important. That's important for us being able to build an infrastructure, because what good does an infrastructure do if you don't have people who can use it? So that's it for today. And I look forward to seeing your comments. Remember to share, like, subscribe. I do readings of various natures. Right now, a lot of people want past life readings because apparently everybody wants to know about their past lives. I also do build grids, which I'm not talking about today. I work with stones. I make crystal compasses. You can go to my website, www.crystaldirections.com, and there's a whole catalog of all the things that we sell and things that I'm trying to get people to use more of the stuff I have and the things that I know about. I'm going to do a couple of, I'm going to do a reading tomorrow on mystics, a particular one named Meister Eckhart, who I found some quotes for him when I was researching something else, and I forgot about what else I was researching and started researching him. It's fascinating. So if you want to come see that, that'll be tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing your comments. Thanks for being here. Bye.